City of FAR, Starr County, City of San Benito, Cameron County RMA, Hidalgo County RMA, Valley Metro, TxDOT, Quorum.
All right, we had the city of Mission show up as well. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Just a couple of things with respect to public comments. Did we have anybody sign up? Nobody signed up for public comments. Just a few announcements on my part, please, if bear with me. First, Monday was Memorial Day. I think all of us appreciate the freedoms that we enjoy on a regular basis, the democracy that we have, the representation that we have at this table is a function of freedom. So thank you to all who have paid the ultimate price, and to those who are still in active duty, those who have served past and present. Thank you so much for allowing us to enjoy our freedoms. Second, just as a personal note on the local level, Weslaco Pantherettes softball teams going to play in the state finals. We have Harlingen South girls playing in the state finals as well. We have McAllen Memorial boys playing in the state regional semifinals. So I think on behalf of all of us, since we're representative of the entire valley, let's wish them all a great weekend. Hopefully we'll come back with some state championships. And then third, the precinct 1 and City of Weslaco in mid-May held a walk and bike safety fun run at the city park here, and we opened up the first segment of our trail, the hike and bike trail that we're starting here. It's a 16-mile trail that's going to be built out in phases. We did the first 2.5 miles, and we held our event on that new trail. And we had some representation from the MPO that were there teaching some bike safety tips and also handing out some goodie bags. So I'd just like to thank them for showing up to our event and supporting us. And it was successful. If you're in the area, 18th Street Park, we opened up and connected to the city trails inside their park, and you can go out and enjoy some of our nature out on the trail. So it's exciting first phase. And so thank you to the MPO staff that showed up and supported us. Anybody else have any public comments? Okay, thank you so much. Item number 4A, approval of the minutes for April 24th, 2024. I believe the minutes were included in the package. Are there any comments, changes?
There were some comments or changes submitted by TxDOT, Dora Robles. They're not reflected on the packet, but on the final approved minutes, it will be reflected. And that's for item D.
Item D?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any other changes? If not, I'll entertain a motion. City of Edinburgh and Starr County at the second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you guys very much. Item B, discussion and possible action to select a professional consulting firm to assist with the recruitment and hiring process for the RGVMPO Executive Director position. Now, Manny, as you know, has been part of this committee, and I know that we had Judge Trevino, Mayor Ramiro Garza, and TxDOT was on that interview process. Who else was on there, Judge?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. For part of it. So, Manny, would you like to say a few words, or you want Judge to?
Judge.
Do you mind grabbing the microphone, just making sure it's close to you? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, thank you. I was at the meeting that I got volunteered for this, so I don't know how it happened. But in any event, I think this board knows the importance of its selection for the executive director. And while we went to the local and national MPO organizations and sites, I believe we thought we could have a varied spectrum of candidates. So anyway, after seeking the approval of utilizing federal funds for this cost and expense, it was recently approved. Board tasked us with going to a couple of firms for this particular project. We had a conversation, a meeting on Friday morning, excuse me, and we selected a couple of, we narrowed it down. I think, Manny, you had narrowed it to 4.
We identified 4 on the buy board state contracts, and those 4, we identified 2 potentials, and those are the ones that we selected to interview, do an in-depth interview, cost analysis that was provided in advance to the committee. And on the 24th, on Monday, we met, and then we further met yesterday to do the interviews for those 2 firms.
So obviously, the concern here is that we've got our fiscal year starting October 1. While we don't want to rush it, we also don't want to delay this any longer than it has to be. So after Friday's meeting, we decided to do a virtual meeting interview with both of those 2 firms, and we felt that
The 2 firms that were interviewed was Genius Road
Genius, thank you.
and HJ Staffing.
And I think they both bring their own assets and energy to the task. But we felt that meeting with the individuals from Genius Row probably had a little bit more experience, especially with regards to the TxDOT MPO credentials and experience that we're hoping to gather. So in a nutshell, so we don't belabor the point, I think the interview went well yesterday. I know Mayor Garza was able to be part of that one. Commissioner Fuentes was going to be there, but unfortunately at the last minute was not able to do that. But we had some conversations and we were texting. I think overall, I think this group is well qualified, for lack of a better term, which they use in their industry, which is headhunting. And I think that they'll be able to get this. We asked them several different questions. The most important being, number one, obviously the experience in this particular area, and 2, would they be able to get somebody vetted, qualified, interviewed, and hopefully hired before October 1. And they seem confident with that timeline. All right. Anything else you want to add, Manny?
No, there was some, after yesterday's discussions with both firms, I know there were some last minute concerns, but as between yesterday and today, this morning, they actually were able to clarify a few other things that I think would tremendously benefit us moving forward with that particular firm, which is Genius Road.
Yeah. So that would be the subcommittee's recommendation, Mr. Chairman.
Was everything in line with the budget? I mean, everything,
Yes, it's
Falls in line.
within,
I think we got a little bit better.
yeah,
yeah, I saw that they,
Yes, and so we would be entering into contract with Genius Roads under buy board contract 674-22.
thank you. So is that the recommendation? Can you make,
That's a recommendation. And,
is that your motion?
and I would
then?
make that motion.
Okay, so we'll make the motion for Cameron County. Second by City of Edinburgh. Any further discussion? I'd like to thank you all for your efforts. I know that it was a lot of time on the phone. I believe Pete was part of that conversation as well.
Yes,
right? So
yes.
even
We,
with
and by the way, you
even
talk
with
about
a bad
public
knee-
comment. Yeah, we're going to wish Pete a quick and a swift, complete recovery. I believe he had knee surgery last week. When I saw him on the
Right.
virtual meeting on Friday, he didn't look so great. He looked better yesterday on the call. So, but we wish him a
Maybe
quick
that-
recovery.
morphine was kicking in.
Yes.
No, but we thank Pete as well as the guys that actually conducted the interview yesterday. Thank you guys so much. So we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Post same sign. Motion carries. And Manny, just for point of clarification, you will contact anybody that was already an applicant through our own posting and tell them that in order to be considered, they need to go through
Yes.
this firm and produce, get all their information to them to be considered, correct?
That's correct. Our HR director will conduct that, reach out to the ones that actually applied and redirect them to the new process.
Thank you. Item 4C, discussion and action on the fiscal year 25-28 Comprehensive Transportation Improvement Program TIP document and programming tables. Rudy.
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon to all of our members. The fiscal year 2025 to 28 comprehensive TIP has been completed and is now within the packet for y'all's review and approval today. So we will need a resolution for this item. The fiscal year 25 to 28 Transportation Improvement Program has gone through its 30-day public involvement as of the end of this month. So we're still under public involvement for a couple of days, but it was scheduled from May 1st to the end of May. So every 2 years, MPOs and departments of transportation prepare a new tip with supporting materials, and that's what's included in the comprehensive document. So everything from the summary sheet that you see in front of you here, the financial summary, which includes all 12 funding categories for our new tip, the actual tip tables, the MTP, any documentation that's required by FHWA and FTA is also included in this document, as well as our self-certification, our group project. So it's quite expensive, but this is required every time we do create a new tip. So fiscal years 25 through 28 is what's up for approval today. I will be happy to address any concerns regarding the programming of projects or any of the documents included within this comprehensive program at this time.
In your notes, it says that both the TAC and the policy board have to approve. Did the TAC approve the tip
Yes, Chairman, they did.
as presented?
Yes,
All
correct.
right. Anybody have any questions, comments related to the tip that's being presented to us in the package? If not, then I'll entertain a motion. That was, okay, Ramon. So Hidalgo County RMA, I don't know who got the second, I'm sorry. City of McAllen. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor, please say, also by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Sorry about that. Thank you. Item D, discussion and action regarding the Transit Asset Management, TAM, and the Transportation Agency Safety Plan targets. Rudy.
Thank you again, Chairman and board members. So this particular item has to do with performance measures on the transit side. So transit asset management and the safety plan for our transit agencies is something that's required by both the MPO to present from our transit providers, as well as the transit providers when they go through their triennial certifications. So for the next 4 years, fiscal year 25 through 28, we're required to present these targets that are to be achieved by the, or at least attempted to match these measures by the transit providers, just as we are measuring with the performance measures on the highway side. So we set forth these measures. We have projects that are programmed on both the highway and transit tip, and we try to match those measures for the next 4 years. So this as a formality to obtain a resolution to include in the last item, the comprehensive tip document, we bring before you today an example of what was shared with our transit providers in this document here, which is a fillable PDF, where they will fill out these performance measures as they do, and they will report them through our comprehensive tip document so that we can submit that along with the transit projects for that particular portion of our comprehensive transportation improvement program. So we've shared this information with our transit providers. They've given us feedback, and of course, this will be published in our final comprehensive document as well. So today we are requiring approval so that we can have a resolution to show both TAM and PTAS measures for the next 4 years.
Same question. TAC already approved this through their
Yes, Chairman.
through
correct.
action. Okay. So now it's just up to us. Any questions? Okay, we have a motion by Stark County. Second by the City of Brownsville. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor, please vote so by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Rudy.
Thank you, Chairman.
Item E, discussion and action regarding grouping of Category 10 Carbon Reduction Program funded projects. Welcome back, Rudy.
Yes, thank you, Chairman and board members. The grouping of Category 10 carbon reduction projects, just as we are currently grouping our transportation alternative set-aside projects, or Category 9, we would like to add the Category 10 carbon reduction projects to those lists. They are included within this document and highlighted. We have some supporting documentation that's been given to us, shared by us by the Texas Department of Transportation, or TxDOT. We will be including both safety and bicycle and pedestrian aspects in terms of what type of projects we'll be grouping with adding Category 10 CRP. And I also like to mention that we were able to indeed also add some right-of-way projects on the Category 7 side. This will help streamline approval. This will help us with lowering the amount that we have to show on our financial summary every time that we submit a tip, just as we are right now. And it also allows us to administratively modify as needed projects. So it works in a multitude of ways to group these projects. It's recommended by TXDOT-TPMP and the STIP team to do so as often and as much as necessary. So before you today is the grouping of projects. This resolution will show all projects that we have chosen to group as summarized here in this sheet here today in the packet before you. So that's what we're asking for approval today, and that's what the resolution will incorporate.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, there being none, I'll entertain a motion. Who was that? San Benito? City of San Benito, second by Stark County. Okay, any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, Chairman and board members.
Thank you very much. Item F, discussion and action to program fiscal year 28 carbon reduction program funds to the Hidalgo County and City of Wesco Hike and Bike Trail Phase 1.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we are discussing an action item here to program some additional carbon reduction program funds. But I thought, let me just go ahead and do the Q2 update while we're here. And just as a reminder, all of our categories of funding follow the federal funding process. And we're currently in the programming or obligation phase for these projects. And so this is from the UTP, where it tells us how much the RGV is getting in carbon reduction program funds. And then this is fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2024. And so I am happy to announce that the city of FAR did receive its FPAA, successfully obligating the funding from fiscal year 22 through 24, from the total of $9 million that you see here. And I believe CCRMA is still working on Stanger Street, and that is set to let in fiscal year 2025. So that is on schedule. When it comes to the 25 and 26 projects, we do have some AFAs executed. We have some interlocal agreements executed. We're still working on some AFAs for a few projects. And there's about 6.7 million in these. And we are looking to let these projects in fiscal year 25 and fiscal year 26. When it comes to fiscal year 27 and 28, these are just programmed. As you know, our 4-year TIP currently goes up to 2026. So these projects are being added to those group lists that Rudy just presented. I lost Rudy, there he is. These are just getting grouped with the rest of the projects. And so we have about 3.9 million here. And likely in a couple of months, we'll start working on developing AFAs for these projects, which are set to let in fiscal year 27. And so in total, we have about 21.2 million programmed currently with CRP funds. But if you remember in March, we did come to you with a short list of project recommendations that was going to go to FHWA for their eligibility review. They have concurred with eligibility for the proposed project, and I am coming before you today to ask for your approval to program $1,179,724 of fiscal year 28 carbon reduction program funds for the Hidalgo County and City of Wesco's Hike and Bike Trail Phase 1. If there's any questions.
Just to note, it's actually different than the other 16 miles. This actually connects the Wesco City Park on mile 11 down to mile 10. Once mile 10 is expanded, we'll have a dedicated bike lane. So it'll allow them even more 3-mile access once that road is expanded as part of an MPO project. So
yeah, we do think this is a good project, and we understand that we're not fully funding the request for this phase, but we hope it's a good seed money for this project. And it was, again, determined eligible, and we received concurrence from FHWA. Any questions?
I'll gladly entertain a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Cameron County Army. Sorry? Cameron County Army, yes. The second, I'm sorry. City of San Benito. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Eva. Item G, discussion and possible action regarding the transportation alternative set aside. Ms. Eva.
All right. Similarly, I'm going to go through the TASA projects that we currently have programmed. And in total, we have about 15.3 million totaled in TASA funding. Again, same process. We do have different groups of projects under programming, another group under obligation, another group under reimbursement. And that's what's reflected here. The older ones should be in the reimbursement, obligating, and then these are currently programmed. And so I did want to give some updates to what I submitted. These three that are rebidding, they are going to be reletting on May 30th. I know the city of Brownsville, Brownsville to Los Fresnos Connect did have its groundbreaking ceremony, so congratulations. And then the mobility plan has been submitting requests for reimbursements. That's what RFR stands for. And so we're hoping, I need to do a better job of kind of looking into these other projects and see if we're regularly submitting those requests for reimbursements. And I can give that to you in Q3. When it comes up to the fiscal year 21 and 22 projects, these are in the obligation phase, which means they should be currently developing. An update to the ELSA project is that the AFA amendment has been drafted and will be headed to the local government soon. The city of Hidalgo did terminate their project, so that AFA will be terminated. Freddie Gonzalez Trail with the city of Edinburgh. We had a meeting yesterday. There may be some proposed project changes. We're still in discussion about that. We want to meet with TxDOT. We want to make sure we do have, this schedule of activities, and March 2024 was the deadline for project changes. So it's a little later than we wanted to when we have a project. When we have funds that we need to obligate. So that's still going to be worked on. But again, the West Rail Trail amenities project is working on 60. I'm sure they've already gotten their comments back, might be working on the next set. And then I need to follow up with Port Isabel, who had a kickoff meeting, and I haven't heard much since then. I believe they were getting some consultants on board. When it comes to fiscal, again, this group of projects need to obligate their funds by this time of 2025. Essentially, we want to see projects let. So again, we're in the 1-year mark, and hope to see these projects developing. For fiscal year 23 and 24, a lot of these are just working on their AFAs. We do not have any. I think maybe CCRMA's Old Alice might have an AFA executed. The rest of these are either working on their PIF, their project information form, or their SPA, which is their special project authorization or agreement. I forgot what the A is for. But they are on schedule. Currently, we haven't missed any of these deadlines, and these projects must obligate by 27.
Can you go back to the prior slide, please? The one.
Yes.
Not that one. Yeah, so are we in danger of losing any of those funds?
Yeah, well, we're not currently in danger, but if we are doing project changes this late or any later than now, it does put us at risk and in an uncomfortable situation. But so far, we're not at risk of all.
So we had talked about maybe setting some time deadlines as far as like redirecting some of that money so that we don't lose it if somebody is ready. What would that date be?
It was March 2024. That's kind of the tricky part. But when we're in May of 2024 and we're hearing that a project still requires changes or may not be able to obligate the way that it's currently presented, that's where the RGVMPO wants to work closer with TxDOT and kind of go back to our members to see what can be done, because the project we're currently talking about is about $700,000.
Well, keep us posted because we don't want to let that drag out. We certainly don't want to lose that money.
Yes, sir. Again, the meeting was yesterday, so I would definitely be working on that quickly.
Thank you. Just keep us posted.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. Yes.
Follow up on what you just asked. So if there's this issue, we are not going to have a meeting in July, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what we normally do or don't do?
Typically.
We have one in June. Will you have some more up-to-date information so that concern can be addressed by the board if the questions or responses that you're going to get or are receiving put that project Not necessarily in jeopardy, but at risk?
100%.
Okay.
We'll be here next month, and if we do need to see that change, then we'll come up with some options for you.
And you can certainly keep us posted through, email communications or something. Just
Certainly.
let us know.
Yeah, we want to meet with the city of Edinburgh to make sure that we have our what we understand in order.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
That's really all I have for the updates. I just wanted to give you a really clear and transparent viewpoint. Again, this is about $15 million in total that we currently are looking at.
So this says possible action. Do you need any action?
No, not right now.
No?
Sorry.
Any questions?
Any other questions?
Okay. Thank you very much, Eva.
Thank you.
All right. We at 5A, presentation and reports. Utilization and carryover updates. Ms. Eva Garcia.
Yeah, this is my last one. I'm going to be really quick. A lot of you already know, in January, we have this new TAC rule that they developed this 200% threshold for carryover limit. We were at 374%, which is significantly over. We looked at our past years. It looks like we have been carrying a lot of funding year by year. And so we've, met with the FIN division. We've met with our FAR district partners. We've been looking at fiscal year 24. We've been revising our estimates for carryover and utilization. And we're currently at this May 2024 amount. What we've done this month is added the amounts for right-of-way utility and for construction engineering. And so that, of course, gives us a higher amount for utilization. And we kind of plugged that into our original estimate with our May estimate, and it looks like we're on track. We'll still be over the 200% threshold, but we're only 67% over the threshold versus 174% over the threshold. So thank you to the partners, in this case, Precinct 2 and Precinct 3, that have been able to help us with increasing our utilization. That was us.
Actually, I think their bids are due today at 3. So it's an exciting time.
Thank you all for working so hard. I know it's not easy, and that goes for our TxDOT friends too. I just get to present this information, but we know who's doing the real work back there. So fiscal year 25, I'm just gonna, again, because 24 was able to get into shape, 25 has been able to kind of see that success as well. And with our new estimates, taking into consideration the other phases, we are able to get under the 200% threshold with these new estimates. So we haven't been able to meet with TxDOT FIN division again. We're hoping in June we'll be able to meet with them. They're kind of working on some stuff. But we want to confirm these, and we don't anticipate having any transfer of funds, fingers crossed, with this new strategy in place.
That's awesome.
So yeah, again, in 26, last month, we were estimating getting under the 200% threshold in 26. Now we're looking at 25. So we're in really, really good shape by 26. And the rest of these are for reference only. This is just part of what I've included in the past, some of the information from the outer years. And then what you're going to see at the very, very end is some of the US code for MPOs. And you're going to hear a lot about needing a project prioritization process and a lot about performance measures. And so we'll be diving deeper into that through the project readiness subcommittee, which the next meeting is Tuesday, June 4th. And that's all I have for you today.
Excellent. Any questions for Ms. Garcia?
Just a comment. I just wanted to go back to the TASA, that the obligation of, I remember the committee saying that within 1 year of the TASA projects being awarded, to have an AFA in place within 1 year. And we've been doing very much progress in that. So I want to thank all the local governments of getting that AFA process executed. Now, Ms. Dora Robles, she's part of a statewide committee to streamline the AFA process in general. So we're looking forward to kind of removing some redundant items and making it cleaner so that we could advance projects to really meet that obligation date. So I do appreciate that. And then on the this project's utilization, I do like that theme: increase utilization and decrease carryover. I know we're focused on category 7, but we also focus on category 4, category 2s, etc. So we really just want to maximize our utilization and just decrease that carryover. It's not Cat 7 versus Cat 2. It's all of us together. And I do appreciate the efforts so far of just seeing these numbers. Just a comment.
It is.
This is $147 million. So every category of funding, is very important. And I do appreciate all the help.
Very good. All right, that was information only, so no action necessary. Thank you very much, Eva. 5B, RGVMPO Executive Director's Reports and Update.
Alrighty, good
Mr.
afternoon.
Diaz.
The budget, we're well within. The total spend has been 808,873.24 cents. The amount that should have been spent was 1,062,260.60 cents. So we're well within the budget. Also, I did want to share that we are also out for an RFQ for legal services for the MPO. So we're completing the PO process right now, and it should be advertising this weekend if we get it all in time for the monitor to start posting it all out. And the need of these legal services is for contract review from different vendors that we have received. And also our planning agreement is going to be expiring in September, which we will need legal representation for. So we're looking to get all of that posted and moving forward.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
First, I'm very happy one of the lawyers are making money, but I don't remember ever discussing it at a meeting. That's the first I hear about it, the MPO.
No, we mentioned that we were going to be needing this representation is all we had mentioned because we're having, one of the issues is with actually the contract for the passenger rail study. That one, we did get a whole bunch of comments back from the firm's legal team. And we had also mentioned about the contract also expiring. So therefore, we're needing to move forward with these services.
So who's doing the work right now?
Right now, we do not have legal representation
You said the contract is expiring. You're talking about the
for the
contract
planning
for the
contract.
planning. Oh,
Yes, sir. The last time it was done was when we did the merger. So this time it's the first time that it expires since the merger. So we're needing to relook at that.
and did we put together, some kind of an RFP qualifications and
Yes, that's what's been put together. We're gonna have a subcommittee, just like we do with RFPs. So we're gonna get that subcommittee together. We'll go ahead and review the submittals and we'll bring it back to the board before
before it goes out?
a firm is selected. Yes, before a kickoff meeting and all of those things. Yes, sir. Yes, right,
That was before when we were doing the merger.
right. Yeah, that was the last time it was done.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna cost more than what he charged this time.
Yes, sir.
I agree with you, but is the monitor the only place we can advertise this? Because I mean, it seems like, I don't know if there's a lot of transportation expert type contract people here.
We can search to see where else we can post it, possibly maybe with TRB and maybe others to see if they allow for it, even Tempo. We'll go ahead and look to see where else we can post it. But that's what we've been usually using is the monitor for any RFPs and RFQs that the MPO puts out.
But this is an MPO legal service. and
Yes, sir.
This is probably a little bit more technical than
Right.
just general counsel type. work.
Definitely.
So you might
Yes.
want to consider using whatever other
Okay.
sites that are available
Definitely.
that might have industry specific
For sure.
attorney.
Okay.
Uh,
We'll look into possibly what TRB offers since we are a member. So they do give us their full services and help with anything we
You
may be.
you might even want to investigate who represents the other MPOs and then just
Yes,
throw the solicitation their way and see what
Okay.
they say.
another one we can look into as well. Yes, sir.
We could also do rail or
Right.
other specific, maybe AMPO is also, I don't know,
Yes.
an
another
organization,
one.
but I think it's good to have good specialized contractors
Definitely.
or attorneys that are specialized in that
Mhm.
field and not just general government services.
Okay, definitely. We'll go ahead and look into that and advertising with other entities as well.
But that RFQ will be shared with us before it goes
Yes, definitely. Yes, sir.
out. Anything else, Luis?
No, that's all I have.
Any other
Thank you.
comments, questions? Okay, there being none, we'll move on to the TxDOT project status reports, item C.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I'm Freddie Briceño, and I'm going to be going over the construction projects in Hidalgo County. So the first project up is FM 1425. This project is from Business 3 all the way to State Highway 107. The scope of this project is rehabilitation. The contractor on this project is Osago Construction, and the project is at 33.24% complete. The estimated completion on this project is October of 2025. Current work being done here, we're showing the contractor working on the subgrade. So in here, we have the contractor working on compacting the flex base and then getting it ready to cut for the proper elevations. Up next is FM 1925. This project is located between FM 907 Alamo Road and Sharp Road. The scope of this project is reconstruction and whitening. The contractor is also Osago Construction, and the percent complete on this project is 46.5%. The estimated completion date is November of 2025. Here we show the contractor working on compacting the flex base as well. And then just some clear right-of-way being done on the project.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Gabriel Bediel with the San Benito Area Office. I'll be going over 2 projects in Cameron County. The first one is the I-69 ramp reversal project. This one is located in Harlingen, Texas. The limits are from Primera Road, Loop 499 to Industrial Park Avenue. As of right now, the project is 62% complete. The contractor is Foremost Paving, and the estimated completion date is for August 2024, which is by the end of the summer. Some progress photos of what's going on right now. This is the northbound main lanes. This is a proposed off ramp that the contractor's working on. He's finished. The contractor's finished the flex space, and that black portion you see is a prime coat that's been installed on top as a moisture barrier in preparation for the hot mix. On this next slide, you'll see the southbound main lanes. This is where the proposed on ramp is going to be. The contractor is currently working on the subgrade. For the next project, this is the SH4 rehabilitation project. This one is located in Brownsville, Texas, between I-69 and SH48. You may know it as Four Corners. This one, the contractor is Posilico, and right now it's at 19% complete. And the estimated completion date for this project is March of 2026. Right now, the contractor is currently working on installing drainage structures on lateral crossings and running parallel to the roadway on the right side of the roadway, which is the eastbound main lanes. We have traffic currently on the other side, on the left side, traveling westbound towards the expressway. And you can see here where they've finished the majority of the drainage structures as of to date on this phase 1, step 1. And now going into design projects, I'm going to pass it over to Isaac Garza.
Good afternoon. As Gabriel mentioned, I'm Isaac Garza, and I'm with the Advanced Project Delivery section. We are currently in the 95% of the SH107 Hidalgo County from, this section is from FM 681 to FM 676. So the schematic has been completed, it's been environmentally cleared. There is no right-of-way required. We are coordinating with the utilities to be relocated. And we are at the 95% PSNE, like I mentioned, and we're looking at right now, it's currently in August of 2032 letting. But we are looking to have the utilities relocated by September of 26, and we hope to move it up to a fiscal year 27 letting. And Business 77 and Loop 499, the limits for Business 77 go from Jefferson all the way to FM 510. And for Loop 499, it goes from Interstate 69E all the way to FM 106. We're constructing a raised median with 6 lanes. And the schematic currently for Business 77 is at 90%. And for Loop 499 is at 60%. We're about 30% completed on the environmental documents. Right-of-way has been identified, but has not been started to be acquired. Utilities will follow after the acquisition right away. PSNE will continue, will start as soon as we have a right of way identified, right of way mapping, I'm sorry. And then letting dates, we have identified 6 different projects. As you can see in the colors, there's several in 2026, 2029, 2028. So there's several lettings that are going to be broken down for this project. We did this whole project as a corridor study, and it will be broken down into different projects. Any questions from anyone?
On the Highway 48 to South Padre Island, how are those lights going to function? Is there going to be an officer there controlling them in and out of the gas plant, or is it going to be timed and just interval every once in a while?
Is the SH48 during ongoing
South
construction?
Padre Island Highway. They've created some lights there. I just saw this past weekend. There's some signals going in. Okay, and we heard any update on the environmental on Second Causeway?
We're working with our design division, our environmental division on the next steps, on the next milestone to get what that environmental date could be. It's just internal with TxDOT and then we'll circle with CCRMA on the next steps. That's where we're at.
Well, temporary for the next 5 to 7 years.
Any further updates? All right, thank you, Rex. I think you're going to fill in for Pete on this one. How does the interchange look?
Still on schedule to summer of this year for substantial completion. During that time, we'll probably still continue to do frontage road works where you see some potholes along the intersection. So it's ongoing, but the substantial completion is summer of this year.
Will they be opening up different phases of it? I've seen like one entrance ramp opens and another one. Are there any of those milestones that are coming up?
We can get you those milestones. I believe there's either 300 to 350 employees right now currently working. So there's strategic and areas that are being allowed to construct before they open it up for those items, those areas. I know a big focus is on over Jackson overpass and the railroad time components, but for the most part, that's what they're trying to do, Commissioner.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much to TxDOT. Item number 6, other business, old or new. This item, next RGVMPO policy board meeting is scheduled for June 26 at 1:30. Right? Any
Commissioner?
other announcements?
Yes, real quick, just for information purposes, we had our first meeting of the Regional Mobility Advisory Committee on the 22nd, May 22nd, very well attended. And the purpose for that meeting is to try to identify or create somewhat of a bill to implement a mass transit RTA, Regional Transit Authority, within the 3-county area or 5-county area. That's what we currently cover. It was very well attended, and this comes based on the direction that the Board of Directors gave us back in February. As you all know, there's an existing bill, SH 71, which we can move forward with creating RTA. However, the funding stream would not be sufficient to continue. It would be much less than what we receive now. As we stand, we receive about 15 million, 14 million for transportation. And that's not sufficient to cover 5-county areas and with a fleet of almost 100 buses, about 40 some odd routes. So this is just to informational purposes, and we'll be having other meetings going to actually conduct a visibility study to look at all those details and see where we can go from there, if at all possible. So just wanted to, for information purposes.
Thank you, Manny. Any other announcements?
Yes, but I also share that on June 5th, we'll be having the Safe Streets for Texas. It's going to be an open house event actually here in this room, and that's going to be from 12 to 4 p.m. There's a meeting going on, but there'll also be our consultant team that we're working with also sharing some information for the SS4A as well. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, then we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting. It is now 2:15. We will adjourn. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Welcome. Just tell the mayor it was because he wasn't like asking.